Okay, Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott said America doesn't deserve black women or black people. And y'all know me, I hate saying the word black. So, but I had to say it how he said it. So, what do you think about that?
What does he mean by that?
He said it on the heels of the loss of Kamala Harris in the presidential election and how he feels America has treated us as a people and black women as a whole too.
I mean, I don't know, because it's an empty statement. You know what I'm saying? It like really doesn't mean nothing. Like, and that's the thing about the so-called politician. When it comes to us, it's always empty statements and jumbled words that in context it may mean something at that time, but when you pull back and look back at it later on, it's like, all right, what are we supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Can I go to the bank, cash that, get some bread for it? Can I open a business with it? Can I put that down for a mortgage on a home? Can I get some land for it? You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? Are you going to talk about the misclassification of black people? And that's one of the main reasons that we currently still stumbling to this day. Are you going to talk about that? Nah, you're going to still perpetuate the same image that these so-called people in America are these quote-unquote black people, which don't mean nothing. It's a misnomer, a misclassification. It holds no weight. It has no legal standing in law. Let's talk about that first. Well, you can't do that because you're one of the people that are paid to keep it quiet, just like that meeting with the entertainment industry. That's why I talk about it goes deeper than that. Because a lot of people sign contracts to keep secrets so they could get paid to keep the secret alive. Keep the lie alive.
The lie alive.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get the big bucks. You think Diddy knows how to sell liquor? No. It's about keeping your mouth shut. That's why we pay you $60 million a year. Oh, now you want to keep your mouth shut? All right, now we got the Supreme Court on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you saying that means nothing at the end of the game, at the end of the day, because it's an empty statement. So we're not jacking these empty statements no more. Make it mean something.
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about Baltimore, like tell black people in Baltimore, you ain't what you doing for them?
One of the most melanated cities that you could think of. Like, what are we talking about?
And you close to DC. You can't get bread out of DC to help with programs. And what are we talking about? So you, as a city mayor, you're saying that you're not getting funding from the federal government to help your city. Is that what you're saying? I think it's time you need to bow down, holler at Trump. You know what I'm saying? Get a meeting with bro. You know what I'm saying? Talk about how much the deficit is in Baltimore. See, he could write you a check. That's what you need to do.
So where they gonna meet at though?
Oh, you gonna have to go to the White House. You don't have to take a ticket number. You know what I'm saying? Wait for his name to be called. You heard?
Yeah, they not going to the White House. They going to Nebraska. They gotta meet up at the Gills Mills.
We'll talk about what they need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Last time Trump went to the Gills Mills, he got caught up, so he can't go to the Gills Mills no more.
What I'm saying though, his man's brought him a car and everything. Like, from him and his man's. You know what I'm saying?
A whole gift in the nine?
The whole gift in the nine. A whole gift to the nine, yo. Damn, yo. We see this playbook year in, year out when somebody's trying to elevate their profile. When someone is trying to elevate their profile, especially a brother of color, he uses the women to do it. And the way to use the women to do it is placate. Obviously, this man is married and has children. We all have women in our life. You don't have to say this to get the women in your life to look at you as an upstanding man, an upstanding citizen, somebody who is worth being led by. At the end of the day, when you hear this sentiment, regardless of if when he's saying it on the wake of the presidential election, that
How long how long he been a mayor?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know.
His tenure.
He's the 52nd mayor of Baltimore.
No, I'm saying like how long he's been in office.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out if he was in office during Biden and Harris administration.
I'm not sure. He could have been. He could have been.
Because if he was under the Biden and Harris administration and you ain't asked them for bread, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
he's in office.
He could have been. He could have been. But at the end of the day, it's like you're doing all this for what? You're trying to raise a profile. You're doing this on the wake of the presidential election. Didn't, the world doesn't deserve a black woman or us as a people. What? First of all, when you say that, you're implicating that we're not from here. You're implicating that we're not Americans when you make that blanket statement. People of color, melanated folks are American. You're born here, you're American. We just have Americans that happen to be melanated and some Americans are not. All people of color, all melanated folks did not come from Africa. So when you say blanket statements like that, even though he didn't say Africa, but when you say that America don't deserve us, then who deserves Americans? We American. So who deserves us? Our country deserves us, which is America. Which is America. Now, has that country backhand slapped us a whole bunch of times? Absolutely. And that's mainly because we don't have a power structure, which I alluded to earlier. We don't have power structure because in the melanated culture is mainly separated. It's mainly individual based. We don't have a power structure of people that say, yo, I make this amount of money, I make this amount of money. This is what we could do locally. That we can't even get together for a building fund or being in the same building. Yeah, I live on 3C, you live on 2H, you live on, 6-5. And as building people, we need to, come up with the guidelines and be, keep the building safe, keep the building clean, and, just have a nice building. Something as simple as that. We got a whole bunch of millionaires in all these different sports, but there's still no power structure. And that's just the bottom line on why people of color, melanated folks, get the short end of the stick. That's the only reason why. We don't have a power structure. There's nobody that's there as a whole, as a power structure that people have to answer to when we get done wrong. Whether that's in politics, whether that's in policing, whether that's in financials, there is no power structure. What we get is the quote unquote celebrities on who they feel is going to have influence, and they pay those people so people could follow what they're doing. And so, just so happily, people are influenced by that, knowing that they don't have a clue on what's going on behind closed doors. They just being told to come in. You think, and this is no diss to her, but do y'all think Cardi B knows about politics? But she was given a speech to say, and horribly, might I add, she did it horribly, but she has influence, and they know that. And because they know that, but they know also that people are going to watch her and be like, oh yeah, then I'm going to do this because Cardi B is standing next to them. Even though she doesn't know nothing about politics. This is why I love the Dave Chappelle line on the show where he's like, when something happens, we got to get Ja Rule on the line. It's like, somebody get Ja to make sense of this. but it's so perfect because nobody cares about what he thinks about this particular subject. We're not asking for about music. We're asking about something that's going on in the society. And there's no diss to Ja Rule, but his specialty hasn't been politics. Is the point that I'm making. So this is no diss to him neither. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we live in this world where we got people that just say blanket statements, and they're blanket statements that don't make no sense. You be wondering, like, damn, why did they say that? Why did they say that? And it's off the heels of the election, and it's off the heels of what we've been going through as a country. If you really feel that way, then you should have a burning desire to be a part of a power structure that benefits people that look like me and you. Simple and plain. And this is the mayor of Baltimore, Brandon Scott. Mr. Brandon Scott, if you really feel that way, then you should be a part of a power structure that benefit people that look like me and you. And if you're not putting something like that together on any type of level, then you should not be saying that. Because again, you're implying that America is not ours. America is ours. It's not just ours by itself, but it's ours. So don't play the game where it's like, oh, well, like we're better off somewhere else. How are we gonna leave our home? This is our home. This is where we bleed. This is where we cry. This is where we sweat. This is where we build at. This is where our ancestors build at. Our ancestors built this country. We was born in this country. Our lineage is in this country. So when you make statements like that, that doesn't have a real definition or course to action, then it brings up more question, and people could see through the agenda that you're trying to put through. I'm moving on to our next hot topic. New York City has announced that it will no longer issue vouchers to migrants